J. Krishnamurti also became enlightened. See, ma, let me be very clear. In the whole universe, there are only two types of enlightenment. One is through Vipassana, one is through Upassana. All these Upassana guys, they became enlightened under the banyan tree. All these Vipassana guys, they became enlightened under the Bodhi tree. These two are the two energies. And here is the beauty, both are there. Here inside, you can see both are there. And there is one more category, you cannot be classified, totally confused. They became enlightened under the Ati tree. The Ati also is there. The Mahavir, that guy became enlightened under the Ati tree. That Ati also is there. He is neither Upassana nor Vipassana. Any other questions?
Yes, Swami. When you talk about J. Krishnamurti, I'm a little surprised in some way that we talk about him as an enlightened man.
Surely he is a great enlightened master.
But he wasn't honest about his relationship.
No, he is honest. You see, there are different expressions. You see, Krishnamurti is an enlightened man, great enlightened man. As far as me concerned, the best intellectual expression, the most sophisticated expression happened on the planet Earth is J. Krishnamurti. But he is not for a common man. He is not for a common man.
But why does he preach, for example, celibacy? And then
JK, no, he never preached celibacy. What is this?
Or talk like he lived celibate.
You see, commentaries on living never propagate celibacy.
No, that's right.
From his early books, he has not spoken about celibacy. Please be very clear. I have read enough of his volumes. Neither his commentaries, you see, his major books, commentaries on living and freedom from the known, meditation, personal laws, freedom. None of these books speak about celibacy. He himself declares he is not recommending celibacy. Where you read his books that he is speaking about celibacy?
No, I was listening to people who knew him and that he gave the impression that he lived a celibate life. I don't mean he wrote it. But
No, he never gave the impression of he being a celibate.
I was just surprised that he wasn't honest about the relationships he had with the women. That's all.
No, he had enough relationship and he is open about it. You see, no, he was open about it. I think, at least I can say from the books which I have written, which I have read, written by the intimate devotees, which is published by JK Foundation, which their own foundation, is very clear. They are very clear. I don't think he is dishonest. In that way, I don't think he is dishonest. I have not seen any dishonesty in his words and in his way of living. I don't know more about the insider's view, but from their books, I can be sure he is very open. He was very open. Any of you read his books?
Yes, I have read.
And I don't think anywhere he claimed himself as celibate. Anybody?
No, he has not preached about morals.
He has not preached about celibacy also. See.
But he was not allowed to marry, no, by that man.
No. Later on, I don't think he claimed himself as celibate or he preached celibacy. I don't know. At least from how much I have read, from there I could say very clearly that he is very honest.
The years of his death almost forced him to be a celibate.
That is different.
I was not a fan of
And you see,
I was not a fan of this man at all. But I just heard a lot of this talk just this last year or so about people being very shocked now that the discoveries they've made and going with this and that man's wife. I mean, I don't care, but I just wonder why he would need to do this and couldn't just be totally honest if he was awakened.
No. I don't think he was dishonest. That much only I know as far as the information I know. And one more thing, even if he has lived the way in which he wanted, and if he is giving a different view for the group, there must be some reason. You can't question about it. We have no right. Because Vivekananda is a great drunkard. Vivekananda is a big drunkard. He used to drink like anything. And none of his books speaks about it.
Yeah.
He's a great drunkard. Still now, on his birthday, they offer all champagne, all varieties. Some 20, 30 varieties, foreign varieties. They open and a big puja will be done. With a regular offering, just like this they offer. All foreign cigars and all foreign variety they offer. And Big Puja is there's a small story, beautiful story. One of his disciple, Jocelyn MacLeod, young lady, she writes about the reminiscence. He was drinking, sitting and drinking. He was drinking too much. He had a liver problem also. He had a liver problem and he was diabetic. And she is trying to stop her. He was just smiling and he was continuing to drink. Then she started shouting, "What is this? What type of enlightened man you are? We are supposed to drink and you are supposed to stop us. Instead of that, you are drinking and we are stopping you. What kind of enlightened man you are?" She started shouting. Then he just laughed. He smiled and gave the cup. In the cup, little bit was there. The remaining thing. He just gave that and told her, "Drink." She just thought, "All right, Prasad." She just drank that bit. And she writes in her book, for more than 3 days, she was out of body. Just that one gulp. 3 days she was out of body. She writes, "The cup which is touched by him can create such a deep ecstasy and experience in me," means how much will be happening inside his body? What will be happening inside his body? You can't. You don't know. You can't say what is happening inside his body. Then he smiles and says, "Just to bring me down to live in this body, I have to keep something." I myself met a Swami, an enlightened master, a great saint in the Himalayas. This guy, the moment he gets up from his bed, the first thing is not washing the teeth, ganja. Great master, such a wonderful man. If you are around him, you will feel that energy. Enlightened man. The first thing is ganja. And before filling, he has got a small wooden. It is made out of a Ganga mati, Ganga sand, hookah. The Ganga mud, out of Ganga mud they make a small thing. On that only they fill the ganja and put the fire and smoke. In that he will put a copper coin. After smoking, he will empty that cup, it will be gold coin. And he will sell the gold and get a little more ganja. Purchase more ganja. That's all. I stayed with him more than 3 months. I've never seen him taking any food except ganja. Only ganja. And I am allergic to that smell. Somehow I don't like that smell. Whenever he starts smoking, I sit little away from him. And one day I asked him, "Swami, why do you smoke so much of ganja?" Then he started laughing and he said, "If I don't, I won't be able to keep this body." He won't be able to keep this body. So, when you can't measure master's activities. With your intellect, if you measure, you will only fail. How much you try to measure, you will only be trapped. It can never give you anything. You will see one thing, masters again and again say, first of all, they don't judge you. Then why do you judge them? Why do you judge them? You can't. You can't judge them.
I'm not judging, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering if he wasn't honest. It doesn't make sense to me not to be honest.
One thing, even your so-called honesty is your morality, ma. You have an idea about something about honesty. And he might have had his own reason. Maybe he wanted to help somebody by showing himself as a celibate. You see, for some disciples, he must have given a celibacy as a vow. Somebody walks through celibacy and becomes enlightened. Somebody walks through a normal life, the so-called normal life, and becomes enlightened. So when he wants to give a celibacy ideal to some devotee, some disciple, he might have, there may be a need that he has to project himself as an ideal. So he might have used that as a technique. There is every chance. And when that devotee writes, he writes, "Oh, Krishnamurti is the greatest celibate," in his reminiscences. For somebody, he may have to show himself as an open person. So he would have been open. According to me, Krishnamurti can neither be celibate nor be a married guy, because he is not a body. Krishnamurti can't be understood as you understand him by books or by reminiscences. He can be understood only, he can be experienced only as an energy when you live around him. That's all. All other ideas you have about Krishnamurti is only your ideas about him, not what he is. You understand? You can't understand what he is. And now, if you have the feeling he is honest, again it is only your idea. If you have the feeling he is dishonest, again it is only your idea. By not judging, there is a possibility of you getting help from him. But by judging, you close the one door, one possibility of you being helped by him. That's all. That much only I can say from what to say that from my what to say from as far as my understanding goes. That much only I am able to express. So you see, masters use so many things as a technique. You understand? There are thousands of techniques.
It's just because there's so much talk about it in Bangalore at the moment, and I was just wondering.
You understand? So I don't think we can first of all judge them. We can't judge these people. We can't judge these guys. So many magazines have written Ramakrishna as homosexual. You know, I have read the magazines which is written published in those times.
Now they say Jesus is not available. He has an issue. Magnetic
And that book, wonderful book. What is that book?
Da Vinci Code.
No. Yes. That book written by that guy name. Yes, I got the book. Somebody presented that book to me. I read the book. It's on. Actually, I was going through one portion, but a lot of things which he says makes sense. Makes sense. So there is every chance. What are you going to do by knowing it?
I've read a lot of his books, and finally, when I came to that part when his downfall of his I was just wondering if he was enlightened, how he could not foresee that.
Wow. So you know that he had a downfall.
The empire just vanished over a few years' time.
Oh, Baba. The whole empire is created in few years' time.
No, I mean it was the whole basis of that was.
For you it is 4 color. For him it is only black and white. For you it is a 4 color, so you say downfall. For him it is just a black and white. If anybody, first be very clear, if anybody else who had 99 Rolls Royce and if he is taken away from his Rolls Royce, he would have become mad. Simply by not becoming mad, he proves he is enlightened.
Correct.
Nothing else needs to be a proof. After living with 99 Rolls Royce and 4 jet, everything is taken away and he is simply smiling. That is enough. Nothing else is necessary. Nothing else is necessary. If somebody snatches your chain tomorrow when you walk in the Bangalore road, snatches a chain,
Depression.
understand, will you be able to retain the smile? And surely 99 Rolls Royce is much more valuable than a chain. That is simply a proof. Nothing else needs to be. There is no need for any other proof. This is the downfall. You see, according to me, the whole thing is worthy for you, not for him. You consider he has been raised and he had a downfall. All those things are your consideration, not from his view. I don't think he had any downfall. He had any downfall.
Again, he re-established also.
And even if he has not re-established, there is no need. No need to bother about it.
So, even a shift from being Bhagwan Rajneesh to Osho Rajneesh should be as simple as you saying.
That the problem is now you see there are so many issues getting raised. That is the reason I do not want to answer even these questions.
Could it be like you saying that I don't want Paramahamsa, just put Nityananda? Probably.
Maybe. Every individual feels his own way. And one thing, do you feel helped by reading his books? Then he is enlightened. Forget about why do you measure him. If you are not being helped, then forget about him. Drop his books and he is not enlightened. Be very clear. If you are helped, then why do you bother he should be enlightened or not? And what do you know about enlightenment? First come up with me. What do you know about enlightenment? Nothing. Then simply Why do you do so much of
Comparative study.
comparative study? Simply BULL. All your comparative study. What can you do? Simply nothing can be done. Simply waste of time. And simply they pull the whole structure. Let me tell a small incident. This should be told actually. In one place, we had a camp. It's a remote forest. It was a remote forest. And I had one cottage to stay. This side, few cottages, all ladies are accommodated. This side, few cottages, all men are accommodated. The opposite is the bathroom. You have to walk at least half a kilometer to go to bathroom. Any of you heard this story already? Okay, choose. Let me narrate this story. Only then you will be able to understand how your judgments are shaken by the masters. And the place is bear haunted. Bear haunted, very dangerous. Lot of snakes, and it's a forest region. So program is going on. One day night, one lady, she came from their cottage, and she went to the bathroom in the midnight. So some male has seen, who is not our devotee, who is staying in the compound. He has seen. And next day he is trying to interrogate her with a sort of a dirty mood. You understand what I say?
Yeah.
All of you understand the situation. Next day morning he is interrogating her. How you are coming out of Swamiji's cottage in the midnight? You are coming from Swamiji's cottage. He doesn't know that this is the way. And this is the way they should walk. And he is interrogating her, and she is trying to give reasons. She is feeling a little awkward. What to say, because she never thought that this guy will ask this type of questions, and she was feeling a little uncomfortable. How to justify or give any reason? And she was just trying to explain him. No, it is from my cottage, I have to walk only like this. And it is a long distance, we have to come only here. Then suddenly I appeared in the scene, I understood the scene. I just started firing her. Don't you have brain? You could have knocked my room. In my room there is a latrine bathroom, you could have used that. Sleep in my room and go tomorrow morning. Why are you walking in the night? Midnight, so many animals, wild animals are here. Can't you sleep in my room and go next day morning? Don't you have brain? The fellow is simply fallen, dropped dead. Simply the guy dropped dead. Nothing else. Your whole judgment, your whole idea, everything is gone. In 1 minute, the whole thing will be crushed. You understand? If you live with your ideology, you will only continuously judge. It will not end, ma. Be very clear. It will not end. You see, even after death, Krishna is not able to escape from rumors. See the problem. Even after death, this guy is not able to escape from the rumors. If even after death he is not able to escape from the rumors, how will I be able to escape from the rumors when I am alive? I always tell people, as long as I am a male, there will be rumors. And one more thing, I am a little young also. Third thing, little handsome. So, as long as all these things are there, we can never escape from the rumors. It will be a part of our life. It will be part of our routine. Okay. Let us work on our energies and desires. I think all of you understood the story, what I said about this interrogation and me suddenly entering. Huh? Yes, incident, that's what I am telling, not a story. It's a history, ma, not a story, history. Huh? Oh, you thought this is a story? No, it's an incident happened.